This set has been graced by some of boxing's biggest names.
They had promoters that didn't bring them to my side and wouldn't allow me to come to this side unless it was on his turn.
Chris, would you have been interested?
Before we get to that.
And I'll tell you what, I'm having a £100 bet with you now, and you get to pick the winner. 100 quid. Let's shake my hand. Who you got? AJ or Ruiz in the ring?
Start have a push and a pull,
Come
kid.
on.
Take it, take it. Now it's time for the next generation of stars to take over the game. Let's find out a little more about the UK's brightest talents. Adam Azim, Dubois, Viddal Riley, and Ben Whittaker. Welcome to The Gloves Are Off.
I've never thought about losing. Before I retire, my goal is to become undisputed world champion.
My motivation is to be the best, is to walk into a room and people know that's the best fighter. I want that respect and I'm constantly on that mission to get it.
I just want to be remembered as a true fighter. Fulfill my lifelong dream, which is to be a world champion and be remembered as someone who took on challenges, took risks.
I've gone through tough times. That's what gives me the confidence now. That's what allows me to talk the way I talk, act the way I do. And now it's time to shine.
I've got the best seat in the house, surrounded by pure talent. I'll probably start with Viddal. Bar me, I reckon you're the oldest one around the table. How highly do you rate everybody around the
You
table?
make it sound like I'm an OG at the table. It's only a couple of years
like
between you.
Yeah, but you
You know, no, but come on, everyone I've seen them throughout the years like develop into the people that they are. Like Ben, there was a time when he wasn't winning the titles and he wasn't in that picture. But once he entered it, he didn't leave. And he achieved more than people who were in that bracket before him as well. So Caroline, we used to box for the same club. We both boxed for West Ham at a period in time. So, and I had a fight with her brother in the amateurs as well. So I've always seen Caroline about, maybe not supporting.
How did that play out?
Because I won. Yeah.
It was close.
That's the best thing you can say. But the W was with me. But Caroline, again, I just know seeing her in the gym for years, just attacking boys, attacking girls, like, you know. And then Adam came a bit later, a bit after.
Caroline, she's the scary one of the group.
Your brother says that about her.
No, I've been on
she
GB
is.
with her and like, she's
serious.
for a good 6 months, I didn't even see her speak to me. She just have a little rain jacket on, skip, leave the gym. I was like, man,
No, she comes in, she does the wax, the punches, and leaves.
And I mean, you just see
No
head guards flying
conversation.
all over the place and she leaves us.
You might get a nod. If you get a nod, it was a good day.
She used to beat me up in sparring. Yeah.
No, like
Back in Del East. They used to be in the
Then
same
you got
club.
him, the acrobat gymnast, and then you got Viddal, who people claim as the YouTube boxer, but now he's going to show that he's the real deal, so all different.
Caroline, this group here, in your opinion, are they here, including you, to take part or to take over?
definitely to take over, you know, we're the next gen coming through. And, you know, I'm inspired by people like Bam Rodriguez, Teofimo Lopez, and people like that who do it at a young age, who say, nah, I'm not going to wait 5-10 years, I'm going to do it now. And I want to be a part of that next wave. And to be fair, I'm surrounded by kids and young adults who I feel like are going to be right there alongside of me, you know. Growing up, I grew up with Adam, trained at the gym, literally looked up to Viddal. I've heard so many stories, you know, him being the youngest person to knock someone out at Repton, that was told non-stop. Yeah. And watching him go into the Youth Olympics, that was where I wanted to go. And then I wanted to win a gold medal at the Youth Olympics, and obviously Ben Whittaker, there's so many stories, you know, so many people that you don't realise are idolising you growing up, and now I'm a part of that, I'm in that mix.
Adam, like me, are you on the edge of your seat when these three enter the ring?
Yeah, 100%. I've been watching every single of these lots fights, and they come a long way as well. They've done really well for themselves as well. Like they've done extremely well. Ben, he's flashy. He's got the Prince Azim look. You know what I mean? Go Viddal. He's got that Philly show as well style, and he's very aggressive, cow puncher. And you got Caroline, Shakur Stevenson.
Oh, I don't know. You can't replicate that,
Yeah.
but I appreciate that.
Ben, where's it all come from? Where's it grow from? Where's the belief come from?
I just think the beliefs come from what I was getting turned down as a kid. If you look at me in the boxing gym, I was never the talented kid. I was always getting beat up, always losing, never getting to like finals or anything like that. But I thought, I'm gonna change my life, I'm gonna push it to where I need to be. And funny story, seeing Viddal, he was the man that we used to look up to. He was always on the English. Yeah, it's true. It's true. He was like, when we was on the, I'm striving for just a Midlands title. He was fighting for England. Then I was trying to strive for a national title, going to the Youth Olympics. So it was always, can I get there? Will I get there? And then eventually the door opened for my hard work, and I ain't looked back since.
Caroline, I get the feeling you've grown out now and/or growing into the person you are today. Is that right, or have you always been that person?
No, I think I've always been that person. I say that when I step into the ring, that's when you see the real Caroline. It's just about translating who I am outside the ring and to be the person that I want to be. I think everyone's got that person inside of them. It's just about whether they've got the confidence to bring it out. And I think a lot of times, you know, you feel like judged and you want to play it safe. And in the boxing world, people like entertainment, people like characters, and it's about dragging that character out of you.
Viddal, trained by your father.
Yeah.
Were you always destined for this?
Nah, I believe so. I think I was put here to box. You know, I think I've always been good at it. Good amateur career, international amateur career. I stopped boxing for a bit, come back. You know, had my stint in America. And then I think I've really just found my feet now though. When I joined Sky Boxer, the last 6 fights that I've had made a lot of progression. I kind of just got back to where I feel I should be.
Adam, I'm sure the journey's not been easy.
It's not been easy, but you know, it took me a very long time to get to this point as well. I started boxing at the age of 4 years old, so I actually got into boxing because of ADHD. So I was very hyperactive. I was a very naughty kid. It was just like my dad's probably had the hardest time with me, in my opinion, because it was hard to manage me when I was a little kid. So I kind of used that into boxing. So that was the one thing that, you know, helped me a lot.
Okay, let's backtrack. Let's go back to those early days. You know, Viddal, everybody loves your swagger.
Yeah.
What were you like growing up?
I don't know, I was just an individual. I think I've always been an individual. I just do things how I do things, you know. I don't look to replicate anything. I just, my dad's always trained me, you know, he always taught me how to box, how to fight. And I just add personality to it.
You strike me as a guy that's not easily led.
No, I'm not easily led. I feel like none of us at this table are gonna reach where we aspire to reach if we are easily led. You have to be headstrong, you have to be stubborn. You gotta know when to switch that on and off. But I've always been like that. As a child, I'm sure he's stubborn, causing trouble. Ben, I'm sure he was stubborn. Caroline, I'm sure she's stubborn as well. But it's just how we channel it. But yeah, growing up, from the first national title I won, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep winning these.
Who do you have to thank for that trait?
Oh, my parents, my mum, stubborn lady. You know, my dad, stubborn man. But we know what we want. You know, when we know what we want, we're very focused on what we want and giving it our best, giving it our all. You know, it's like too many people are focused on the wrong things. You should be focusing on giving it your best shot. You know, no matter, you can't guarantee you're gonna succeed, but you gotta give it your best shot. And I think we all have that mentality, and we're just coming through at the same time. It's not a coincidence. I don't believe it's a coincidence. So we've all had our time to grow. We've had our time to learn. We've had, you know, so many things. Now we're blessed with this platform, all aligning like the Avengers. You know? Is that the
I thought he was going to say Charlie's Angels. I'm Charlie.
Like the Avengers. So it's just, and it's perfect. Like, we're just gonna grow together.
Adam and Ben, you've been vocal about your struggles with ADHD. Did that affect your childhood?
Yeah, well, that's the reason I got into boxing, and it's funny to hear somebody else that struggled with it. I always used to think I was the weird one of the group, but I think I channeled that weirdness into who I am now. Do you know what I mean? I I talk when I'm not supposed to. I'm a bit flashy, but that's just who I am, and I love it. I love the way I am. But as a boxer, I went to the gym for that reason, to burn off energy. My dad didn't want me to box. My mum didn't want me to box. But I signed up myself, come home. I said, Dad, I'm fighting next week. And my dad was like, you ain't ready. You're definitely not ready. I said, oh, well, I've signed up now, done my medical and everything, I'm fighting. So I had to use one of the kids' shorts in the gym. I went to TK Maxx and got some boots that didn't even fit, some Dunlop ones. It was critical.
Dunlop,
Dunlop.
That's the show.
Exactly.
That's the hustle, right?
I did what I had to do. Had my first fight. I looked pretty decent. My dad said, we're taking this serious. Next day, 6 a.m. before school, woke me up with his bike, went for a run. And we ain't looked back since, so it's been a blessing and a curse.
How did it affect your childhood?
Yeah, it definitely affected my childhood. Like, I've been like, obviously, I used to do like really stupid stuff back in school days as well. That's when I got actually homeschooled after primary school. I only went to secondary school for 2 months, and then my dad decided to take me out. And the one thing about my dad, I'm so happy he took me out, because if I did go to school, I don't think I'd be here right now. And it's just like I used to get angry so much. Like, I used to get angry quite easily. I get distracted quite easily. So, you know, if I was in that school environment, it was kind of hard for me. So I like to thank my dad for actually taking me out of that school.
At least he got homeschooled. I got kicked out, so...
That's what, did you do exams in school?
No, I did no exams, nothing. You know, it was one of those things, like I said, I was always the classroom clown. I always had to speak out of turn, and it got to a point where they kicked me out, and I didn't know what road to lead to, but thankfully, boxing was my classroom. That's when I switched on.
And people don't understand. So they walked you out to school. You didn't do any exams or anything after school.
No exams.
You were on your own?
Like that. I was on my own, and it was one of those things where you saw your friends getting the GCSEs, the wanted, and I'm at home thinking, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And like I said, when I got in that boxing room, that was my classroom. That's when I switched on, and I thought, I can't really do maths. I can't really do English. I can't really do all these other things. I'm good at boxing, so I'm gonna give it my all.
Sweet Caroline, was this always the case? I have a funny feeling we ain't gonna go down that road, but was it always the case, or was you?
Unfortunately, I was the good kid in school. Nah.
You're joking.
Nah. I mean, I'm the middle child. You know, I come from a big family, 7 brothers and sisters. And I feel like as the middle child, you know, you're the one who wants, you know, you're not exactly the oldest, but you're not exactly the youngest, so your parents kind of overlook you a little bit. And my dad was putting a lot of attention into Daniel, as you all know, you know. He was putting a lot of attention into him and focusing on him, and even my younger brother coming through, he was putting a lot of attention of him and saying, I'm going to have boxers, I'm going to put them in boxing, I'm going to focus on them. And, you know, as the middle child, you want a little bit of that energy, you want a little bit of that attention. And I guess I just said, nah, I want that. And when I took it, you know, I remember telling my dad, I want to box, and he just looked at me and he was like, what? You know, at Repton, they didn't have girls' boxing clubs. Throughout England, they didn't have female boxing clubs, so he was thinking, what's she on about? I mean, yeah, whatever. And he just kind of just dismissed it. But, you know, I kept asking, I kept demanding, I kept saying what I wanted, and I guess he was thinking, you know, I was just saying as a young kid, you say you want what your older brothers and sisters want. But I was serious, and he kept letting me, like, talk myself out. And I would always ask for it. Every Saturday I would say, I want to go to the gym, I want to go to the gym. And on Repton, they would have Saturday classes for the young kids, the nurseries. And my dad said, all right, I'll take you to the Saturday class. And Saturday will come, Saturday will go, and I wouldn't go. And I kept asking, and finally he would say, okay, I'll take you to the Saturday class. So Saturday comes, and I guess he's driving around thinking, how's it going to work? Repton doesn't have a female club. And so he comes up to me and he says, nah, I can't take you, I'll go next week. And he drives off, and I just start crying. You know, I have a full-blown tantrum. I'm like, nah. And my brother Daniel, he goes and tells my dad what's happened, and my dad, I guess he's thinking, damn, she's serious. She wants to box. She isn't saying it because she our older brother's boxing. She isn't saying it for attention. She's serious about this. And he said, okay, I'll take you. And then he took me.
Who was Colin?
I had to be Colin. As you know.
Colin was you?
That was me. You know, I had to be Colin. Colin was me, you know. I'm that fighter. And going to the Saturday class, it was a men's only club. So I went there, and on the way up there, my dad was saying, they're not going to let you in if you say you're Caroline. You got to say you're a boy, you got to say oh boy.
That's crazy.
And I thought he was joking because we were laughing about it. He was saying Audley Harrison's going to be there, I'm going to spar. So we were joking, and I wasn't certain if he was serious or not.
What did it feel like not being able to be yourself, to be Colin?
No, I didn't care. You know, as a young kid, I was 9. You know, I didn't care. And I just wanted to fight, and that's all I cared about. Walking into the gym, I was so happy to be there. I was so happy to train. I was so happy to spar. I was so happy to be in the mix. And it didn't matter what it took to get there.
What would your advice to D3 be in regards to the criticism? Because I reckon you get it the most.
Yeah, I do.
And so much more than what's actually happening in the ring. It's about being a showman or woman. And, you know, even before early on, we were sat down talking and you were saying, where's the Adidas from? Where's this from? And I actually, I remember Naz back in the day was sponsored by Adidas. He was fly, he had everything going for him. Ben, where's that come from? Naz, because you got a bit of a Naz swagger about you.
I just think, like I said, I flicked that switch at 15 and 16 and I thought, I am that guy. I'm going to show why I'm that guy. And I think the way I speak, you know what I mean, the way I present myself just shows. But not only that, my confidence comes from what I've put in. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you can talk this way unless you can back it up.
Okay, fighter or showman, which one comes first?
Fighter, 100%. But I can't do the showman without the fighter. That's just me. So when I'm serious, I showboat. It's just the way it is. Like Caroline's probably seen me in some GB tournaments.
Definitely.
Serious fight. Olympic semi-final against a
that
Russian.
knocking out everyone as
Knocking
well.
out everyone.
She's back in his story.
Exactly.
I was going to say to Adam, do you believe it? She's back in it.
I'll tell you the story.
And everyone was like, no, he can't be messing around. He's got to be on it
The fight
today.
before, you know, you get the big screen there, you can see what's going on, warming up, looking up. Boom, knocked him clean. I said, I've got him next. I've got him next. The coach said, don't worry about that. Think about this. I said, no, I've got him next. You know what I mean? So I did what I had to do there. Come out, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Ben Whittaker's done well to get a bronze, but his days are done in the semi-final. I say, yeah, watch this thing.
I remember
Check hook, looking out. Know what I mean? Little wink to Rob McCracken, yeah, you like that one, know what I mean? And I come back to the coach, stop messing around. One shot. I said, no, watch this round, bow, say him again, say him again. So when I'm in that flow, there's no beating me, and I think showman comes with that. I can't help it. That's the true box. I think when you're all stiff and serious, for me, it doesn't work.
Adam, Mr. Shaw, real knockout. Do you feel the pressure to entertain?
To be honest, it's good to get valuable rounds in as well. It's good to, like, you know, obviously when you get to harder fights, you have to be more serious. But as you know, if you're comfortable winning the rounds, you're comfortable at schooling him, then you can do that. Do you know what I mean? But with me, I'm always switched on. I can't do that. Like, I have to stay focused the whole way. I have to stay focused the whole way. So. You know, I don't want to look away and get hit, you know, like look at the coach.
I'll teach him.
Yeah, so, but I'm always a guy who's just more serious in the ring. Like, I stay focused the whole time.
Caroline, we've seen you thrive, grow rapidly recently in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Have you noticed it?
No, I think it's just confidence and belief, and I feel like if you know you're gonna beat someone up, there's no problem with saying it, and I feel like that's just the mentality.
I like that. I like it. Tell him again. It's true. People don't like it these days, but talk it, back it up. What can I say?
Exactly.
When I was in your position, my goal, my ambition was just to be on the front of the Boxing News. That was it. I want to be front page. It might not be a big deal to you guys now, but to me, front page of the Boxing News. That was all. Everybody in that gym, that's what you want to be on the front page.
Especially when they used to do the big ones.
That's right. No, I'm not that old. But what I'm saying, Caroline,
but you know which one I'm talking about.
Caroline, what's your motivation?
My motivation, I think it's changed throughout the years. When I was a kid, it was going to the Olympics. Turning pro, it was, you know, winning a title. I've done that now, and now it's to be undisputed. Now it's to be the best. It's to walk into a room and people know that's the best fighter. And I want that respect, and I'm constantly on that mission to get it.
You flirted with YouTube boxing, or am I wrong? What's the priority?
Oh, fighting's always been the priority.
Always?
Always, since 6 years old. Like, these guys have told you, I've been fighting, you know? It's just something that popped up
Why did
later
you
on
look on
in
the dark
life.
side?
The dark side? Damn, Johnny. No, you know what? It was an opportunity. You know, it was an opportunity. I think a lot of people don't realise I was just working a normal job. I was a personal trainer. I was a personal trainer just working a normal job. I wasn't really boxing at this time. I just thought, you know what, don't know if I'm gonna make the Olympics I wanna go to, so I don't know. And I just thought, let me make money. And then in the gym comes the YouTubers. It wasn't like something that I seeked. It just happened. Like I just started training 1, then I trained 2, then I trained 3. And then by the time you know it, KSI gets challenged to a boxing match. And then his friends are like, our guy's a boxer, our PT's a boxer, so why don't you train him?
So even though you've won your first professional title, we still see you flirting with that Tommy Fury business.
Not anymore. I'm trying to think about other things now, as you can see, you know.
He's above that.
After that fight,
yeah, it was.
Do you believe him? Do we believe him? Do we believe him?
Believe it or
Yeah?
well, I know we've got that phone call. He ain't saying no.
If the call came through and it's making sense, then I don't mind dishing out a bit of pain for a lot of reward. He's just not serious, innit? He's not serious. I can't invest in that. I can't invest in that because he says a lot of things, contradicts himself a lot, but it's just because he doesn't want to be honest and say he couldn't step in there with Ben. You think he told me he could step in there with Ben? Because when he was fighting traditionally, he was fighting like heavy cruiserweight. Who can you see him fighting? I mean, I'm the English champion, so it kind of starts there, innit? And do you know what I mean? It kind of starts there. If you can't see him beating me, then you can't look at anyone else in the division.
Ben, what's the ultimate motivation in life for you?
I wouldn't say it's changed. I'll say, of course, world titles. You can do every boxer wants a world title. For me, it's a change in my family's life. That's why I did this. Seeing my dad work 2 jobs, mum work 2 jobs. That's the reason why I get up in the morning. That's why I go to the gym at late nights. That's why I do what I can to change, not my life, my family's life, and then the next generation. But with that saying, world titles come as well.
Caroline, do you get that?
No, 100%. You know, you get in the boxing business by your parents, by the people around you, and to be able to help them is the biggest blessing, I think, and to see them reap your rewards. It's no good walking that journey alone and going and living that life. You need people to live it with you, and to take people with you, that's a blessing. That's God's blessing. You know, we've been blessed with the talent, the skills, and you got to bless others, I think.
Viddal?
Oh, I like it. Oh, that was bad.
I've been on some bars today, I ain't even gonna lie, yeah.
That was bad.
Caroline, reading books.
She been going. She been listening to
She like this, reading the notes.
You know what? I know you said he was your mentor at one point.
Yeah, he
Yes.
told. Yeah, go on.
He's actually got a YouTube video of it. I still got it on the YouTube. So
Yeah.
I went to an event, and obviously he was like my mentor that day. Like he was the one who's showing me around and all that. And obviously, I was a little kid, so obviously I knew about him already. So I used to watch his videos. I knew he was national champion and all that. So I was looking up to him when I was a kid myself. So
Yeah, that's crazy. He's making me feel old.
Caroline, so when these guys are talking about you walking in the gym, skipping, held up, just walking straight out again, did you clock them, or you just didn't care tuppence about them?
No, I just think I'm a person, when I go into the gym, I focus, you know, I just switch on. And obviously when I was in the GB team, I'm first stepping up, I think I was a little bit intimidated. Right? I'm seeing all these people, I'm seeing all these faces on the wall. I'm seeing AJ walk in, and it's like, he just walks past you, and it's a bit mad. And you know, I was 19 years old when I got on the team, and the Olympic qualifiers were coming up, and I was terrified of losing, terrified of winning. It was mad. And then you got Ben walking past, youth Olympic gold medalist, youth Commonwealth champion. And I'm hearing stories about him. My brother's talking to me about him. All these guys, all these names, and you just want to be a face, and respected again. So I was just so focused on getting my shot, getting my position, getting into that position, and getting that respect.
Do you get that? You know, being terrified to lose. Do you get that?
I've always had a winning mentality, actually. Like, I've never thought about losing. The one thing about before I retire is my goal is to become undisputed world champion, and also not losing. I want to be like obviously, you know, Floyd Mayweather, Javante, you know, got Haney, they're still winning. You know, they got that winning mentality. and they've not even felt like they haven't lost yet. So, so I've always had that thing where I always wanted to win before I retire. And
Ben?
Oh man, I'm playing the PlayStation and I lose. I ain't talking for a good hour. That's how I've been brought up in my house. Know what I mean? I can't lose at anything. Do you know what I mean? Say if I was racing Usain Bolt, I'm finding a way to win. I'm tripping him up. I've got to win. But it can be a good thing and a bad thing because it can take over your whole life. Like when you see me in the Olympics, people say it's a time to celebrate getting a silver medal. I was on there crying, medal in my pocket because I've got that mentality, or a win only, that's it. So I think when you've got that drive, it pushes you into a different place. Do you know what I mean? It makes you do a couple more rounds on the bag, couple more rounds sparring. And I say the drive is not to lose. Do you know what I mean? I felt it before in the amateurs and I never want to feel it again.
Viddal, how would you react to a loss?
No, it depends. It always depends on how you lose. You know, I think.
Can you envisage it? Can you see it?
I always envision how I can lose because it helps me prepare how to win. Like any opponent, I think he could beat me if you don't do X, Y, Z. I don't just say I'm gonna win because it's me. I always see how could it be their day. You know, how are you gonna help it be their day? This, and this will help it. You gotta not do that, and you do this, and you'll win. So that's how I think.
It's true though, it's kind of true, but I ain't picturing myself losing.
Yeah, no, I hear
I'll be
it,
in
but I
bed like
think
this,
for me it's just...
I'll be scared thinking that.
For me, it's just like, right, you know, if you don't do this, this, and this, then he can win.
Yeah, it makes sense though.
But it's just the truth.
I'll leave that to you. I ain't picturing
you know what? That's what makes us special though. We all think differently and achieve the same way, but
that is very true.
that's me. It depends on how I lose. If I lose in a battle and it's a couple points and, you know, 115, 113, and you can hold your head high, then cool. If you just get battered, and my dad's just like,
Oh Lord.
my dad's just like, you know what, son, the towel's right here, man. That I couldn't take that. I'd be right in hibernation. I'd be looking for a bunker underground.
Social media plays a big part in today's world, in today's society. Viddal, I think you probably embraced it the most to make it work for you. Do you take any notice of the negativity?
Nah, I think in the beginning you do because it's new to you. Like you're not used to seeing so many people care about what you're doing, so you're taking in every comment. But then as time passes, I don't even look at it.
Adam, Caroline, you know, how do you deal with the I call them armchair champions? How do you deal with them?
There's loads of them.
No, it's hard. Obviously, I think when you're first getting used to it, I think it's difficult to get criticism for no reason from people that you don't know, people criticizing you on things that they don't know about you and criticizing you on your training and your performance and they've never fought before. That's always going to be a bit annoying, a little bit irking, but it is what it is. You got to take the bit with the sweet and you just got to move on from that.
Adam, are you're aware of them? Do they affect you at all?
To be honest, at the start, I was like, it's obviously all new to me, as you know, Viddal was saying, and you know, it's like more like a lot of people, you got more eyes watching you, you know, more in the fights as well. To be honest, like I don't really look at the comments anymore. Like I don't really like look at it. I just upload and get someone else to do it now. And it's good to have a good team around you where you can just do it. Like you just got to focus on your fight, really.
Ben,
It might sound bad, but my whole relationship with my dad is built off criticism. In a good way. I qualified for the Olympics. You did this wrong, you did this wrong, you need to work on this, that was terrible. And that makes me then turn that into negatives and make those better. I think when you got people behind you always, yeah, that was good, this, that. That didn't work for me.
You lose touch with reality.
Yeah, that didn't work for me where my dad's just a real person. People are so happy that I qualified for the Olympics and he's on the phone going, that was terrible. If you box like that, you're never going to get through the first round. And you need those people so it builds you to when other people do it, you're like, yeah, it's nice to know.
What would your advice to D3 be in regards to the criticism? Because I reckon you get it the most.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So what would your advice to D3 in regards to dealing with it?
I say, it's just, you know what, they're doing it for a reason. That's why I say. They're taking their time out to go on your page. What do I want to like about him? Oh, da-da-da-da. Get them in the ring, get them in a position to talk, get them in a position to put all their emotions in a ring. They could never do it. So I just say, unless they can do it, I don't want to hear it. And not only that, you're your own person. You go through life, people love you, hate you, whatever. As long as your family, your mum, dad, whoever it is, God, whoever you look up to, as long as that person got a strong bond with you, that's all that matters.
You're all looking to take over your division. This is your time to call out one fighter. Could be tomorrow, could be next year, could be in 5 years' time. Any current fighter, this is your time.
Current. We don't know what I'm
Well, we'll start with Adam. Ben, you seem like the most confident fighter on this table. But are there ever moments of doubt?
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
you're on fence.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's, like I said, going through my whole amateur career, will I do it? Can I do it? And those demons can sway you one way and the other way. But I just push through the door to say, look at yourself, you've done it before. If he's done it, why can't I do it? If the Floyd Mayweather's, he lost in the Olympics, why can't I do it? And that was the drive for me. I thought, they've lost, they've gone through things, they became what they are. And I think seeing other people do it before me, they kind of thought, yeah, I can do it. And that's what gives me the confidence now. That's what allows me to talk the way I talk, act the way I do, because I've gone through tough times and now it's time to shine.
Adam, do you ever have moments of doubt?
To be honest, you know, you get a lot of people doubting you as well. You know, you get sometimes the comments as well, the people talking. But you know, sometimes you can't please everyone. You have to please yourself. And if you keep winning, then I've never thought of doubting myself that I'm going to lose. So I've always had that winning mentality.
Brennan Ingle, my old coach, amazing mentor, he always said, don't pay attention to the negative and the positive because these people don't know you.
Yeah.
So when they're slapping you on the back saying you're brilliant, you're the best thing since sliced bread, take that with a pinch of salt, just like people hating on you.
Yeah.
Caroline, do you have moments of doubt?
Do I have moments of doubt? I think everyone's afraid of failure, and I think I'm no different. You know, it's a scary thing, you know, thinking about failing and knowing that it's a possibility. It's a terrifying thing, especially when it's the only thing that you've trained for and the only thing that you've wanted. When I was a kid, 9 years old, 11 years old, and Katie Taylor walked out at the copper box and she was fighting Tash and she went and won Olympic gold medal. Clesha Shields went and won Olympic gold medal. There was nothing that I wanted more in the world than to win an Olympic gold medal. And it hurt so bad to not get that. You know, I remember crying. I was in bits for days and it hurt. It hurt very badly. And I think that's what fuels me, knowing that I can't let that happen again.
Viddal?
No, man. The way you compose
Does it resonate? He knows where I'm going.
He started breathing heavy.
Leave me alone.
This is trying to do his breathing.
Does it resonate with you, the fear of failure?
Yeah, the fear of failure.
Yeah,
I think,
I'll ask you again, nice and clear.
yeah.
Does it resonate with you, the fear of failure?
Yeah, you have to have a fear of failure. You have to. You have to. That's the only thing that's gonna make you do what you need to do to succeed. If you don't fear the failure, you're not gonna do it. I feel like that's what you eliminate in training camp. Like when you're at the beginning of training camp, you think, X, Y, Z. By the time you go through the camp, you've done all the preparation, like you said, you've ticked all the boxes. When you're walking to that ring, at that point, I don't have no fear of failure. I know I've done my due diligence. I know I've trained hard. I know I'm gonna beat you up today.
That's what I always
That's
say.
how I think.
People
you know?
go, what do you talk like the way you do at the press conferences? Because I put the work in, I know I'm going to win. Do you know what I mean? It's that simple.
I feel for you lot because pressure. When I had Tempero, I had 13 amateur fights. I won 3. There's no pressure on me. Nobody expected anything from me, but you 3, you 4, everybody expected the world from me. That's pressure.
Yeah.
Do you feel it?
Yeah, well, I say, well, you know, pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah, he's clearly, you know.
But like I say, coming out the Olympic team, everybody's waiting for your signature. Where will it go? This, that. I say the pressure was just not knowing which was the right or which was the wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not just my life on the line, it's my family. So I was a bit like, shall I do this? Shall I ask him for this? But now I've got through that hurdle. I'm laughing. I don't really feel the pressure anymore because, like he said, he gets a bit of hate, this, that. I love it. Talk about me, just talk about me. The more so-called pressure you put on me,
the more I can perform.
So you talk, as long as they talk about
yeah,
you, don't
as
care.
long as they talk about me, I don't want to be walking out to no empty seats. I want people booing, cheering, whatever you gotta do. That makes me perform. When I've got that feeling, there's nothing better. I don't want to stand on the stage or I'm there dancing because this is my time to shine.
Love or hate,
That's why
you
I
treat
like
it
it.
exactly the same.
100%.
The same.
Adam, you're a young man. Expectation of you was from being a kid then when you were the age in single figures. So when you turned pro, did you feel the pressure? Was you used to pressure? Was it something that was part of your growing up?
To be honest, I had a lot of pressure in the amateurs myself because I've won like most of the national titles. I've not even lost a national title in England. So it was a big pressure for me when I started my professional career. So also COVID hit as well. So it took about 2 years for that to happen. So I was eager to get into the ring and fight. But when I started my professional career, there was a lot of pressure. But I handled it quite well. Like I know that my time is in the ring. Like I can do everything in the ring.
Caroline, from day dot, we've been singing your praises, the heir apparent. Does that not put pressure on you?
No, I don't think so. I don't really care what people say. Obviously, it's great when people are talking good about you, and I love the fact that when people give you the respect and credit that you deserve. But like you said, when people are saying good things or bad things, you gotta take it like a pinch of salt. And I think I always do. I love walking into the room and people give me my respect.
Clarissa Shields is one of your big... Clarissa Shields, the Don. Yeah, she's one of your biggest supporters and fans.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not pressure?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not for me. Not for me.
An expectation, an inspiration.
I mean, she will always be an inspiration for me. As a young kid, she was what I needed to see. Young kid, 12, 13, didn't have no one to look up to that, looked like me, felt like I could be like, I want to be like her, or I am like her. I didn't have that, and I needed that from her especially, and it was what I needed at the time.
Viddal, the bigger the pressure, the bigger the fights?
Yeah, the bigger the reward.
The bigger the reward. Will we see the best of you? Will we we see even better of you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of those people that the more the competition steps up, the more I step up. It's what's required. As the level goes up, more's asked of you, and that's what you get the time to prepare for. I've always been that way as an amateur. If someone said, "Oh, this kid, yeah, he's a good fighter. I think he's gonna da-da-da-da," I will step up and I'll deliver. And my track record shows that. So yeah, as a pro, I don't see why it's gonna be any different.
Ben, you mentioned your dad as probably... I had Brendan Ingle in my life, my biggest inspiration. I wouldn't be sat here without him. Caroline, who's your biggest inspiration, the greatest impact?
Close to home, I think it's my brothers and my sisters and my people around me, the people who I look up to, people where I realize, a lot of the times I keep catching myself and I'm saying, it didn't have to be me. God gave me this talent, this blessing, but it didn't have to be me. It could have been my sister, could have been my brother, but it was me, and I have a responsibility, to help them and they motivate me, because I'm not just doing it for myself anymore, I'm doing it for them now, and they're my biggest inspirations and my biggest motivations.
I say my dad, 100% my dad, because I see my dad, like obviously he's told me the stories about his, when he was growing up, and the thing about my dad, he's done so much for me that he wants me to have a better life than him. Like I've seen the stuff that he has done before for me, like getting up, made me, obviously punch the punch bag when I was 4 years old at the back. So, he's took so much time and effort and journey, the miles in the car to get to, obviously the England camps. And for me, it's my dad because he wants me to have a better life than him.
Viddal?
Yeah, definitely. It's my dad as well. He's my head trainer to this day. Just someone who loves the game, just loves the game of boxing and used to do it himself. And I think where he loved it and I was just watching it as a kid, I just subconsciously picked up how to do it. And then he just honed it. He just knows how to get through to me. Like he said, quite stubborn, I think quite complex as well, but he just knows how to get through to me. And that's why every time we step out under the lights, we just improve because, yeah, it's just me and him. When someone's fighting me, they're fighting me and him. You know, that's how it feels anyway. When I go back to the corner, it's just like, I've got 2 charges fighting one person.
I saw that sort of relationship with Joe Kazaki and his dad. Amazing. How special is it for you to share your journey, your experience, your happening now with your dad?
Yeah, it's the best thing. We worked so many years to be able to get this position and showcase that we know what we're doing, you know, and he knows what he's doing and he knows how to train his son. And I think a lot of people are always uncertain about a father training the son, but I think because we have a relationship away from boxing as well, literally just father and son, I think it helps. Whereas sometimes the boxing can override that relationship. We have both, so it just makes us strong.
All said and done, Ben, give me a picture of how it looks for you once you've hung up your boxing gloves. What's the legacy you'd like to leave on our sport?
Truthfully, of course, everyone will say world champion, undisputed, you name it, but I want to go down as one of Britain's best ever boxers. When they talk about the Nigel Benns, Kawasaki's, the Naziers, I want to say, remember that Ben Whittaker? He was sick. He was a bad boy. And that's what I want, and I believe I'm on the path to do that.
Adam?
When I retire, I want to be known as, like, obviously the quickest to win the world title, keeping that, never losing as well, and I want to be in the Hall of Fame. That's my goal.
Caroline?
There's not a lot of female boxers, you know, who's got that name and got that respect that's equal to the men, I think, and I just want to go down as a great fighter. You know, I want young boys growing up who are getting involved in boxing to look up to me, say, let me watch some boxing, let me put a bit of Caroline Dubois on. Young girls, and I want the same thing.
You want to surpass Clarissa Shields?
Of course. I want to be known as the best boxer, regardless of gender.
The quote.
For me, I just want to be remembered as a true fighter. You know, I want to be remembered as someone who took on challenges, took risks, gave the people their money's worth. Of course, a credible world champion. Because, you know, the measurement of who's good and who's a legend and who's great varies. You know, I can't get caught up in that process. But as long as I fulfill my lifelong dream, which is to be a world champion, fight who I'm supposed to fight, don't miss any of the fights with my generation type thing, I'd like to just be that guy, you know.
You're all looking to take over your division. This is your time to call out one fighter. It could be tomorrow, could be next year, could be in 5 years' time. Any current fighter, this is your time.
Current.
You don't know what I'm going to say.
Well, we'll start with Adam.
Ryan Garcia.
Hey.
Nice.
Or Javonte Davis, one of them two.
Hey.
Yeah. But he's obviously I'm a big fan of Javonte, but one day I've got to fight him. So do you know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah.
Ben?
Bivol or Turbiev, because for me, the two main guys, a lot of people are avoiding them, going one way or the other. They're the boys with the belts. One beat the face of boxing in Canelo. The other one's the most feared, got 100% knockout ratio, and they're both beatable. It's about going in there with the right mindset. I'd like to do it first fight with Turbiev, and then finish off with Bivol.
Well, that man's quite obvious. Current fighter that I'd like
Tommy
to fight.
Fury.
Yeah. Current fighter that I'd like to fight. Isaac Chamberlain. We know this anyway. But I think it's a big fight, man. It's a big fight. I think the people would love to see it.
Caroline, you've not got off the hook.
Of course not. No.
Who do you
Obviously,
want?
Kate Taylor, she's got all the belts in my weight division, so that'll be great, you know, to be the one to step in the ring, fight her. Ireland, England, it doesn't matter. It would be a massive night, sell out anywhere, and it would be a great night of boxing, and I definitely would see myself walking away with the victory on that one.
You know what? This has been an absolute pleasure, honestly and truly. And I look forward to see how everybody's career moves on, moves forward, and we hope we all achieve our dreams. The one piece of advice I'd give you is own who you are, believe who you are, and enjoy the moment. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't say I'll do it next time.
There is no tomorrow.
If you want to do me the wrong version.
I was just going to say that.
enjoy the moment.
100%.
And this would be the best thing you could ever look back on.
Definitely.
Peace.
Peace.
Nice.
Hey.
Nice, team. Nice. Do you really want Ryan Garcia?
And I'd prefer like a Shakur or a Devin Haney.
Right, actually, like
Or
Javonte or Ryan, one of them.
Huh?
Yeah. Javonte or Ryan.
Do you beat him?
Who? Javonte.
Yeah.
Tank Davis.
I ain't scared of him, so.
Ah, my boy.
I ain't scared of him.
Javonte is
Dangerous
cold.
fighter, but I ain't
Yeah.
scared of him.